Welcome back to Digits here at WSJ Live. I'm Simon Constable. Well, new medical devices are getting smart, and that includes prosthetics going high-tech. And we've got Sarah Needleman to discuss next in tech with us this week. Thank you very much for being there.
My pleasure.
Being here. Let's start with the prosthetics. It's not just about prosthetics, but it's the most visual thing. We had a picture of a man with a prosthetic leg, which was actually very high-tech.
Right, well, a company called Orthocare Innovations came up with this new type of prosthetic that can be controlled using a smartphone, so you can adjust the heel height. So the problem for a lot of amputees is that they're limited with their shoe options because they need the same heel height every time, or every single pair they put on. Now they can adjust it. But also every time they go up an incline, even just a small hill, we take for granted what it's like to be able to go at a slight incline. For them, it's like walking in ski boots. And now this new technology actually automatically adjusts, so it knows when it's going up a hill or down a hill and will actually bend the toe appropriately, like we take for granted because our bodies do it naturally.
And that's a huge, I mean, a huge thing for someone who has to wear a prosthetic. Now, how widespread has this become? Obviously, there are some very low-tech prosthetics out there, basically, you know, wooden legs, wooden arms, things like that.
Well, it's definitely come a long way, and there are a lot of products out there on the market that have improved the way that amputees walk with their prosthetics. But this is definitely a new step in a more advanced direction in terms of the control that the patient has. It really eliminates the need to go to the prosthetist's office very often to get an adjustment. I mean, you still need to go every now and then, but it gives you many more options as far as the shoes you wear, etc. And there are other brands out there that are working towards similar technology, so it's definitely something that a lot of companies are working on.
Well, and you actually interviewed the guy we showed pictures of, John Redfield. He seems like a pretty interesting character. Tell us a little bit about him, and how did you come to meet him?
Well, he is a test patient because the product is not for sale yet. They're still working on it, but he's a test patient. He lost part of his leg in a motorcycle accident about 20 years ago, and he is testing it out right now, and he's really enjoying it. He said that it's made life so much more easy for him. It's just like his walking is just so much more natural.
Yeah, well, easier, but it still can't be very easy having a prosthetic leg in any way. Tell us about some of the other high-tech innovations, not on the prosthetic side, but on the other side of the medicine.
Okay. Well, we got a company called Rest Devices that is working on a T-shirt that measures respiration. It's
a T-shirt.
A T-shirt.
That's a
and
vest
it's washable too. It looks like a regular old T-shirt, but there's actually sensors embedded in the fabric.
And we're looking at pictures of that now.
It also has a detachable data logger, so that's not washable. That has a USB port, and you stick it onto the shirt while you sleep at night. Now, normally, if you're measuring your respiration, it's for something like sleep apnea to see how severe it is and what kind of treatment you need. But you would normally do it in either a hospital or a sleep lab. With this T-shirt, you can do it at home, and the data will be transmitted to your doctor, and you can go over your options from there. But it's certainly nice to sleep at home rather than a sleep lab or a hospital to test your sleep apnea.
Absolutely. I would hope a T-shirt like that could tell me when to take a nap, too. Maybe I'd wear one anyway. Time to take a nap, Simon. Tell us about Scandu.
Scandu is another company that's working on a small handheld device that you could hold up to your body, and you use it with your smartphone, and it basically tells you what your symptoms are. So say you have some sort of a rash, it will give you a sense of what kind of rash, how serious it is, or if you have a cough, it might tell you whether or not this is a sign of strep throat or the flu.
We're looking at an advert here, a commercial where they're trying to work out what the rash is on the child there. My guess was it was measles, and I was wrong. But I mean, I guess that's the advantage, is that you don't need to be a doctor, and you can use the app to try and get it right.
It'll give you a sense. I mean, it's still under development. It's not out yet, but this is what they're working toward. And it'll give parents more control over their kids' health, for example, rather than rushing to the doctor the minute they see a slight cough or a rash. They can kind of assess it and see, gee, is this a minor issue, or is this something we need to hurry up on? It's not foolproof, but it certainly gives a sense of what, you know, how serious something might be.
That's good news. It's always great to get good news, isn't it? Not all the news is full of good news. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Sarah Needleman, and you can read more on that on WSJ.com or in the paper.